1983. 40 years ago. The president, Ronald Reagan. Remember the Strategic Defense Initiative? It was dubbed Star Wars. Hard to believe it's been 40 years. On this day, 40 years ago, the Cubs manager, Lee Elia, after losing and falling to 5-14, I believe, something like that, he met up with reporters. One of those reporters had a tape recorder. Les Grobstein, the late great Les Grobstein, he passed away recently. And he captured this incredible tirade brought to us by This Day in Baseball. Go give them a sub. They got a lot of good stuff over there, but let's take a listen. This is epic.
I'll tell you one fucking thing. I
Oops.
hope we get fucking hotter than shit just to stuff it up them 3,000 fucking people that show up every fucking day.
Hotter than shit.
Because if they're the real Chicago fucking fans, they can kiss my fucking ass right downtown and print it.
Right downtown and print it. It's interesting that he chose those words to print it. I don't know how many reporters were there. Again, most of them were probably just scribbling on their notebooks. One guy, Les Grobstein, he had the recorder. Otherwise, we would have never heard this. And this is legendary in the Windy City, the greatest fucking town ever.
They're really, really behind you around here. My fucking ass. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Go out there and let my fucking players get destroyed every day and be quiet about it for the fucking nickel-dime people that show up? The motherfuckers don't even work. That's why they're out at the fucking game. They want to go out and get a fucking job and find out what it's like to go out there and earn a fucking living.
See, what he said there was very interesting to me because people look at Cub fans have been criticized for a long time for supporting a bad team, filling up Wrigley Field for bad teams. It wasn't always like that. That pretty much kind of started back in 84, 85, and then maybe the Andre Dawson years and later in the 80s. But Wrigley Field was empty during all those day games way back in the early 80s. So he's had enough.
85% of the fucking world's working. The other 15 come out here. A fucking playground for the cocksuckers.
Okay, so I had to kind of, I've heard this 1,000 times, and I just wanted to break down some of the math. 85% of the world is working. 15%, or 3,000 is what he said, comes out here and boos the players. If 15% is 3,000, then 85% would be 17,000. In other words, 20,000 people in the world. Okay. I'm sorry to be taking him so literally.
Rip them motherfuckers. Rip them cocksuckers like the fucking players. Got guys busting their fucking ass and them fucking people boo. And that's the Cubs? My fucking ass. They talk about the great fucking support that the players get around here. I haven't seen it this fucking year. The name of the game is hit the ball, catch the ball, and get the fucking job done. Right now, we have more losses than we have wins. The fucking changes that have happened in the Cub organization are multifold. All right, they don't show because we're 5-14. And unfortunately, that's the criteria of them dumb 15 motherfucking percent that come out to day baseball. The other 85% are earning a living.
Yeah, so he's right. You know, the whole thing about this, he was right. There was a lot of talent on this team. Ryan Sandberg, Leon Durham, Jody Davis, Ron Say, I think he must have been there by then. Dennis Eckersley in the starting rotation. They went on to get Rick Sutcliffe. There was talent, and a year later they won the division.
Still take more than a 5-13 or 5-14 to destroy the makeup of this club. I'll guarantee you that. There's some fucking pros out there that want to fucking play this game.
Yeah.
But you're stuck in a fucking stigma of the fucking Dodgers and the Phillies and the Cardinals and all that cheap shit. All these motherfucking editorials about Say and fucking the Phillyitis and all that shit
Okay, so maybe Say, I'll have to research this. Maybe Say wasn't there yet. He was there in '84, though.
sickening. It's unbelievable. It really is. It's a disheartening fucking situation we're in right now. 5-14 doesn't negate all that work.
Yeah.
You got 143 fucking games left. What I'm trying to say is don't rip them fucking guys out there. Rip me. If you want to rip somebody, rip my fucking ass. But don't rip them fucking guys, because they're giving everything they can give. But once we hit that fucking groove, it'll flow. And it will flow. The talent's there.
Yeah.
I don't know how to make it any clearer to you. I'm frustrated. I'll guarantee you I'm frustrated. It'd be different if I walked in this room every day at 8:30 and saw a bunch of guys that didn't give a shit. They give a shit, and it's a tough National League East. It's a tough National League, period.
Yeah, so thanks to This Day in Baseball, I stole your video. I hope you don't mind. Nobody's watching this channel anyway, but yeah, go over there, sub. These guys do a lot of good stuff, and I'm gonna have to look up that Ron Say thing. I thought, I don't know when he came. I'll have to look it up. Thanks for anyone who listened, the 2 or 3 of you, and go Cubs.